Hello there. I was struggling for something to talk about today, and I just spoke to my son and said, "Give me an idea for a topic for my video." And his first response was, "It's okay if you don't know where you are right now in life." So I asked him if he would allow me to interview him on video, and he's not feeling it today, because actually he's referring to himself with that comment. He's going through, excuse me, he's applied for uni. He's been in work the last 12 months. That came to an end at the end of February. Now he's thinking he needs to go to uni because he's thinking that he's disadvantaged by not having a degree. I keep telling him he's not, but it's his choice. But he's also been applying for jobs. He's even had an interview for Google, and he got through to the next stage, which is, excuse me, the 11th of April. He's got to go down to London to do an assessment. But he's not that bothered about it. I'm like, it's Google. Do you not realise what a big deal this is? But he doesn't want to live in London, and B, the starting wage is not great. And he feels like it's a bit of a stagnant step because it's level 3, which is what he did at college, even though it's a different subject. But anyway, so he then said, "Well, what about, Mum, all the stuff you wanted to have achieved by a certain age and you haven't?" And I said, "Yeah, but I don't care about that anymore. Once upon a time I did." He said, "Yeah, but it's still something good to share." So here we go. So I was one of these people that was a million miles an hour. I still am to a point, but certainly in my 20s, certainly when I ended up being a mum, and I was in a band at the time, a rock pop band, and we did a lot of touring, gigging around, and I was working full time as well, and then it all just became too much really. When Jake was about, I think he was heading for 2, I just thought I just can't do all this anymore. It was just too much. So I always wanted to be, Wembley Stadium, all that sort of stuff. I was convinced I'd get there. There's still time. And I thought I'd be a millionaire by the time I was probably 30, maybe 35. Obviously that didn't happen. We thought I would have 3 or 4 houses, in terms of houses for me, to be able to go and, spend a couple of months in wherever I decided to have that house, whether it be Europe, Spain, Cornwall, Australia, thought I'd be spending 6 months of the year in Australia, 6 months of the year back here, and all of these things I haven't been able to achieve yet. And it used to bug the hell out of me that I hadn't achieved them. The clock was ticking. I wasn't getting any younger. I wanted it all when I'm young, to be able to appreciate it more. And my son's got the same thing. He keeps thinking he's got to have achieved everything by tomorrow, and I keep telling him he really doesn't. But that's the young, right? And I was the same. So there were a lot of things I wanted to have achieved by now. I'm 45 now. And however, over the last, certainly since leaving my husband, which was 5 years ago, I've very much settled into a more accepting reality. I am where I am, and just because I haven't become a millionaire yet doesn't make me a failure, because that's how I used to see it. And and it's just it's a whole different perspective really. It's a whole different way of looking at things. So success for me used to be, I'll become a millionaire, I'll play at Wembley Stadium, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll drive a Porsche, etc., etc. And now success for me is just maintaining inner happiness, which most people don't get to achieve, which is really sad. Everybody's looking for the external conditions to make them feel better. New car, new house, new job, new boyfriend, new girlfriend. Not realising that they are taking themselves with all of that. And if they're not working on themselves, then they're never going to find that inner happiness. So yeah, so I just wanted to share that, really, how my perspective has changed over the years. And it's interesting to watch my son sort of follow me a little bit in terms of his perspective, and I keep trying to give him the benefit of my experience and wisdom. And yeah, well, he knows best, right? So he has to learn it for himself, even. So yeah, so that's it, really. Where you are right now is absolutely exactly where you should be. It doesn't matter if you haven't got a passion or a goal right now. It doesn't matter if you feel like you've failed on some achievements, because there's no such thing as failure. As long as you keep going, as long as, okay, it didn't work out for that, but I'm still doing this, and blah, 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 and then I want to go and do that. That's what life's all about. It's all about growing, and it's all about being cool with where you are. So I'll leave it at that. See you later.